This is the Brown Boy Wonders podcast.
Welcome to the Brown Boy Wonders podcast. In today's episode, it's all about week 5 of the NFL. And I have a special guest here today. He's a first timer on this pod. I'll say he's an old middle school friend. He is from the Big Easy. Here's Tyren. Tyren, man, what's up?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thank
Yo,
you for having me on today.
For sure. Just go ahead and introduce yourself to the world, man. Where
Yeah.
are you? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so again, I'm Tyren. Again, I'm glad to be here today. Avid football fan. Actually, I love sports, period. I've been playing sports pretty much all my life. Yeah, so like I said, I'm happy to be here tonight and ready to have some good talks about football.
Awesome. Well, first, let's go with your weekend, man. How was your football weekend?
Football weekend, my team is the Saints. We destroyed the Patriots. I love to see it. Fantasy wise, I got wins. No, I didn't. I did not. I won in our league.
Yeah.
My first win of the week. It's been a struggle this year in fantasy. We're getting there. And I
Yeah.
lost my first game in our dynasty league. So
Your first
yeah.
loss.
Yeah. So it's been bittersweet. It was a bittersweet week.
Yeah, I think in my dynasty league, I am like 2-2, something like that. I'm not doing so well. In my work league, I'm like 4-1. In my family league, I'm like 1-4. So I'm like all over the place.
Yeah, this has been a very odd year for fantasy.
Yeah, because you see guys making a lot of points for a few weeks and they're gone. Like what's his name? H from Miami.
Yeah, and he's on IR actually now. I don't even remember him getting hurt.
Yeah,
But he's hurt. I
yeah,
think the
yeah.
past 3 weeks we've had a 50 or close to a 50-point score in fantasy. I think Mostert and HN week 3 were 40, both 40 and 50
Man,
points.
that is
Point players.
crazy.
Week 4, who went off in week 4? Oh, CMC. He was on your team. He had 50 points.
Yeah, he did. And then this week was DJ Moore, about 49
DJ
points.
Moore and Jamar Chase 52.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it's been crazy. Highs and lows, ebbs and flows of football.
But let's talk about your New Orleans Saints, man. They dominated the Patriots 34-0. What's going on with Bill Belichick, man?
I think that changes have to be made in New England. That's up to Robert Kraft, and I know he's very tight with Bill Belichick. They've been working together for over 2 decades. And I think Robert Kraft might be blinded by the 6 rings that he's won, with Belichick. I do know that over the past since he's been in New England, right? He's
Yeah.
been wearing 2 hats. He's been the head coach and the GM. And I think he has been losing his touch as a GM because I think since 2010 there have been 2 all pros on the Patriots. One was a punter and one was a punt return man,
Oh wow.
it's absolutely crazy. Especially having those juggernaut teams that he had in the 2000s. Obviously he had Brady, but that the defenses were always stacked during that decade. So in order for the Patriots to be successful, I really do think that Robert Kraft should relinquish Belichick's GM role, and I think he should hire one so that Belichick can solely focus on, football.
I mean, he's not been the same since Tom Brady when he left. I thought that they were
True.
doing really good with Mac Jones in the beginning, but it's just falling apart.
Well, you have to remember his rookie year. He had uh, head coach of the Raiders, Josh
Yeah.
McDaniels. He thrived. Mac Jones thrived with McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. Year two, he brings in Joe Judge and Matt Patricia as co-offensive coordinators, which both, Joe Judge was a special teams coordinator.
Hmm.
Before he became the head coach of the Giants when he was with the Patriots, he was their special teams coordinator, and Matt Patricia has always been a defensive guy. So
That is true.
that hurt. That really hurt Mac. And then this year they bring in Bill O'Brien from Alabama, which, Bill O'Brien is an offensive mind, but we just haven't seen those two click. And Mac Jones has looked terrible this year.
I mean, he slapped Sauce Gardner in the nuts, and after that, it's just not been the same.
Oh,
I mean,
Karma.
big karma. But yeah. So Derek Carr made like 183 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kamara 22 carries, 80 yards, 1 touchdown.
Mhm.
Michael Thomas. I thought Michael
Yep.
Thomas was washed, but he's doing good now.
He just, I've had my frustrations with Michael Thomas, but when he's healthy, he's effective on the field. You listed those numbers, but we were carried by our defense.
Yeah.
Mac Jones had a pick six. Um, I think he threw 3 picks in that game.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it was a fumble somewhere in there, and obviously they scored 0 points. So, defense definitely carried. And
Yeah.
all I can do is, tip my hat off to him.
Yeah. Saints are doing well. Right now they're 3-2, which is
Yeah.
is better. But the big story coming out this week is the New York Jets shutting up your former head coach, Sean Payton.
Yeah. Sean Payton, that still is an interesting hire to me because I don't think he wanted that job. I've
Really?
been, yeah, I really, okay, so going into this offseason, everyone thought Brandon Staley, the head coach of the Chargers, was
Hmm.
going to get fired after blowing that 24-0 lead. And, defense is playing lights out. Trevor Lawrence throws 4 picks in the first half. Everyone thinks the Chargers are going to, run away with this win. And here comes Brandon Staley with his controversial play calling and going for it on fourth down. And, I really thought he was going to lose his job. And that would have been the perfect spot for Sean Payton to land. But, ownership and the front office, they endorse Staley, and, he stays. And, obviously the Denver job opens up. So I don't know. I always thought that was a questionable decision he made. I personally think he should have waited one more year.
Yeah.
I feel like a better offense would have been waiting for him somewhere else. But um, I don't think Russell Wilson is his Drew Brees
No.
2.0. Like I don't think so. And I'm not saying that, obviously the Broncos don't look good on paper. No, they look good, stats wise. But Russell Wilson, he has been looking better than he did last year.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Sean Payton, that he should have kept his mouth shut on the whole Nathaniel Hackett thing.
I mean, he said he's the worst head coach of all time, right? Or worst coach of all time. You just can't say that.
You
If
can't,
you're losing, what, like last week or this week, you're just
mhm,
losing. I mean, you can't say those. You can't say that statement to anything.
yeah, I agree. He should have
Um,
kept his mouth shut. And the thing is, that was kind of out of character of him because he never would put another coach down or a former coach down. He never did that during his time in New Orleans. So the fact, I don't know if he was on his high horse because he had to be on cleanup duty to get Russell Wilson straightened out and to get the whole team straightened out, to kind of reverse the curse that Nathaniel Hackett left. I don't
yeah.
know if that was the thing because not only with Nathaniel Hackett, but he's been talking down on Russell Wilson. Like he had a quote about you don't have to kiss the babies. You're not running for office. To Russell Wilson, basically saying that you don't have to do this and do that to have an image of a franchise quarterback. So there are times where I just think that Sean Payton, like you can still be an effective and good head coach, but you don't have to speak your mind on every little topic. You don't have to respond. You don't have to
Yeah,
speak up on every little thing.
yeah, I agree. I mean, didn't he did that Bounty Gate in New Orleans?
Oh, it wasn't him.
Oh,
It
wasn't.
was it was our defensive coordinator. He was actually a
Oh,
defensive. He was the Jets' defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, a couple of
oh,
years back.
damn.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah, we have that connection. Um, yeah, it was Greg Williams. Obviously, we know he was paying players to take other players out.
But did Sean
Um,
Payton know about that?
I believe he did, but he just, obviously he didn't put a stop to it.
Mm,
And he tried to downplay it as if he didn't, because you have to know what your coaches are doing, especially your coordinators. You have to know what the game plan is. So, um,
interesting.
even if you didn't, that just shows that you don't have control over your locker room.
That is true. What do you see for your outlook for your Saints?
I see us going to the playoffs. I do see us winning the NFC South, and I think that's as far as we go. I think we are. I don't know. I don't know if I'm completely sold on Derek Carr.
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
He is, but he's not great.
Ah, good point. Well, the Jets, they beat Broncos 31-21. Zach Wilson with almost 200 yards for 199 yards, and then he got that one stupid interception, which is okay. Brees Hall went flying to the end
Yeah.
zone, and Garrett Wilson made a few catches there. But yeah, for the Jets, for me, so I've been covering the Jets past 4 weeks, 5 weeks now. It's been up and downs. Where Aaron Rodgers broke his Achilles, and then
Mm-hmm.
Zach Wilson is not playing well, losing his confidence, and then freaking Broadway Joe told him he's disgusting, get him out of the Jets. All that happened, but in this game, he proved that all the doubters out there that he is a great player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Well, he can be.
he can be.
Um. So here's my thing about Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
I still don't know why y'all picked him over Justin Fields 3 years ago. That's still something that irks me
Ah, you
because
know,
Justin
y-
Fields had way more tape. He was
yeah.
proven.
I thought we were getting
Um,
Fields as well. I don't know why we picked Wilson, but they saw something else.
Whatever they
Uh,
saw, I don't see it. I still don't see it.
uh,
But
right now, I'm seeing it. I'm seing him focus. All he needs to focus. And, just don't hold on to the ball. Just throw it. Like
true,
when you see your receiver, just throw it. Don't overthink.
true.
That's my thing on him.
Yeah. So, back to what you were saying. I believe Zach Wilson had the best game of his career. Sorry. Um,
Oh yeah, he did.
again, who did y'all play last week?
Last week we played. Who did we play last week? We played Kansas City.
Yeah, he had the best game of his career against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I know that's so crazy to say. But he outdueled Patrick Mahomes. He looked like he was decisive in the pocket. He wasn't panicking. He
yeah.
made the right reads. Had good touch on his throws. Um, yeah, and that's something I had never seen from Zach Wilson. Besides, I think last year, the Jets played the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Y'all were getting blown out. It was garbage time. But he was making, again, the right plays, the right reads. He wasn't hesitating on throws. And I just don't understand why he can't do that consistently.
Uh, as as long he's doing what he's doing, I think we'll be fine. I can see us. I don't want to jinx myself, but I see us reaching to the wild card at least.
Mm-hmm.
And while you never know, Aaron Rodgers might show up. He might come and play. We see him walking.
He is not playing. He had an Achilles. I know that medicine and technology have advanced, but Aaron Rodgers is 38,
39.
39, 39, yeah, and he's coming off one of the toughest injuries to come back from as a professional football player. Granted, I know he plays quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but that's still a tough injury to come back from at his age. Um, I I feel like if he wants to play next year and onward, I would sit out this year.
Yeah, I do agree. He should sit out. Well, I do want to see him play, of course, but realistically, I do want him to sit out and then recover until next year. But
Yeah, because Rodgers isn't. This isn't Brady we're talking about. Rodgers runs with the ball if
yeah, he does.
he needs to, and you can't do that on a halfway rehabilitated Achilles.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that is
and
true.
his O line is they're gonna have him running at times. He's gonna have to maneuver in the pocket, and you need that Achilles intact to do that. Because if there's one part of the Jets offense I'm not too high on, it's the O line. And y'all just lost a guard for the season.
We did.
So
Tucker. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that is a tough loss. Yeah, it's also Achilles too, right? I believe.
I didn't see I didn't look too much through his injury, but I know it's season ending.
Yeah. Well, I can see. Do you see Saints versus Jets in the playoffs? Or no, wait, they're in both. Isn't it Saints NFC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you see them in the Super Bowl?
No. We
Okay.
have okay, so I'm being realistic because I
Okay.
know how we are in the playoffs.
Oh
Um
yeah.
Either we get bounced in the divisional round, although we don't really lose in the wild card round when we make the playoffs.
Hmm.
So either we get bounced in the divisional round, or we make a deep run and we get our hearts broken in the NFC Championship game again. And I don't know if I can take that. So I'm gonna play it safe and say that we get bounced in the divisional round.
Hey man, as long as you're in the playoffs, that's all that matters. Your
We
team is
should
good.
we should win the NFC South.
Well, another team who we'll probably will see in the Super Bowl, maybe. Well, most likely, it's the 49ers. They kind of destroyed the Cowboys this past week.
Got
Uh,
a tear to my eye. It was beautiful.
it was it was beautiful. When I went to work today, they were all sad. My one of my manager was pretty sad because even though he has in his fantasy team, I think he has Brock Purdy. He was so sad that Cowboys lost. I was like, yeah, man, that's what happens.
Yep.
Uh,
Brock was my fantasy QB.
Interesting. Yeah, that's so I see 49ers going through it. Also maybe Chiefs. What also so Chiefs faced Vikings and Vikings lost. What do you
Mhm.
see Kirk Cousins and the rest of the guys? Like do you think they'd be traded or
Kirk Cousins has a no trade clause, so
Mhm.
it would be up to Kirk Cousins for that move to happen. Now, do I see a window for the Vikings making the playoffs? Yes,
Yeah.
but they would have to go on one of those Cinderella runs that they normally go on, you know, because they don't win close games.
No.
They and all of their games always seem to end either a 3 point. It's like either a 3 point win or loss, or by a touchdown. And I don't know how far that team can get without the best receiver in the league.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson's hurt IR.
That's
It
4 weeks minimum.
4 weeks is a lot in a regular season. Uh, but yeah, I actually want to see Justin Jefferson like out of Vikings. Um,
Really?
yeah, I'd rather see him like with a popular team like Chiefs. Imagine with Mahomes and Jefferson.
No,
That's a duo.
I do not want to think about that.
um, like even Joe Burrow. What if Joe Burrow and Jefferson? I know they have Jamar
That'd be
Chase, but
that'd be college all over again.
yeah, that's true. That is true.
Joe
Burrow,
Burrow, they didn't lose a game that season when they won the championship.
they didn't.
No one could stop that offense.
Time to bring him back. Bengals came with the win last week. Burrow's been struggling with that injury, but now
Mhm.
he's doing well. Uh, I have him in fantasy for like 5 weeks in my family league, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with him. So I traded him away with I think I got like Geno Smith with him, but now he's just playing crazy. Last week made like 25 points instead of like
Yeah,
6 points. So that kind of made me mad.
I think playing the Cardinals helped too.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
But he's someone I'm nervous about because, like we just talked about, Aaron Rodgers had a calf strain.
yeah,
I actually think that's what led to the Achilles pop. That his calf wasn't fully healed, and that's something I fear for um Burrow because a couple of years ago in the NBA Finals, Kevin Durant had the same injury, the calf strain, and he came back and tore his Achilles. Because
yeah.
he didn't let it heal. So that calf is still a concern for me with Burrow, and of course that O line isn't doing him any favors so far.
No. So if you have the defense against Bengals, just play them all the time if you want.
I
Um,
don't know, that's risky too, but because Burrow could snap at any point, But
yeah. But what did Kevin Garnett said? Anything is possible.
anything is
So
possible. Yeah.
so I do see Aaron Rodgers coming back. No, I'm just joking. Uh, but yeah, man, that's pretty much like the highlights for the past week. I do have some questions for
hmm
you. Um, who is most likely to get to the Super Bowl? The Patriots or the Giants?
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting these two teams. Um, so what did they say wins championships? Defense, right?
Yeah.
That's something the Giants do not have right
No.
now. Teams are running through them, they're passing on them. Um, Defense is nowhere to be found. Now with the Patriots, I can say that their defense has been the only thing giving them the fighting chance. Now I know they lost Christian Gonzalez, which is the rookie corner. He's out indefinitely, and Matthew Judon, who is arguably the best player on their team, he's out. Um, so I guess we could say, like, hypothetically speaking, if everyone was healthy on this defense, that'd be the only reason why I'd say the Patriots could win a championship.
Yeah. Giants. I mean, they don't have. I think they're losing because of Saquon Barkley. I know the defense is really bad, but the offense they're missing that main player.
hmm
It's
Yeah.
just yeah, it's just unfortunate that he's not playing. But yeah, I do see the Patriots that I hate. But yeah, I do see
hmm
them. I should see them winning that. Another question is, who is more annoying, Stephen A. Smith or Chris Mad Dog Russo?
Oh gosh. Um, Jeez. Chris Mad Dog Russo yells at everything, and he's an historian, but he
Yeah.
like that that blinds him from how good current players are. He'll mention players like Vinny Testaverde or Otto Graham, and I'm just like, no, no. They played in a completely different era of football. No, you cannot compare them to the likes of Mahomes and the Mannings of the world. And no, He also thinks not Bill Russell. He thinks Larry Bird is the best basketball player to ever touch the face of the you know, to exist.
He
Rules
said that?
online. Yeah, he thinks Larry Bird is he's yeah.
I mean, he's great, but not the greatest player.
Yeah, and he'll come up with all these stats to uh justify his logic. And then there's Stephen Stephen A. Um I have my pros and cons with him.
Okay.
I still haven't gotten over the fact that he got Max Kellerman fired. I loved Max
Yeah,
Kellerman on First Take.
I do too.
Um, yeah, I think Max, even though he brought some interesting takes sometimes, like the whole Iguodala thing, like if the whole Earth was about to be abducted by aliens and we had to make one shot to make them go away, he would trust Andre Iguodala over Stephen Curry with that shot. No, I wouldn't dare. No. But I really love Max Kellerman. Um, Now I do love how much Stephen A hates Cowboys fans. That is
Yeah.
hilarious. And every time they lose, he trolls them. I love
Hmm.
that. But other than that, I'm not the biggest fan of Stephen A. Um, he always has to get the last word in. He always has to disagree with someone. Um, at least like 95% of the time, he's disagreeing with someone. um, yeah. So I'd have to say if I like had to deal with either one of them for a day, I'd deal with Mad Dog Russo. I
Wow.
Stephen A is way more annoying to me. And he's like
Wow.
on every show on ESPN.
Yeah, he is. Um, yeah, that's a tough one for me. I would just go with Mad Dog. He just yells a lot. Uh, mm,
Stephen A, that's all he
he
yeah.
does yell too.
Th- Yeah.
But I do like the I do like him with Max, but him with Sharp is also good too. I think
Yeah.
Sharp and Stephen A agrees a lot with each other. When it comes to Max, he doesn't agree with him
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, but like Max always brought logic into
Yeah.
it. Like even if you didn't agree with Max, you can be like, okay, I see where he's coming from.
Hmm. Yeah. I think Max is doing the morning show with Keyshawn and uh the other guy.
No,
But
Max isn't on ESPN anymore.
oh, what happened?
They laid him off. Remember back in
Oh,
July when they were laying off like everybody?
oh,
Yeah,
damn.
Max was one of them.
No wonder that
Yeah.
show hasn't been on for a while. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, they laid off Keyshawn too. Keyshawn's on Fox. He's actually on with Skip Bayless.
Yes, I did see
Keyshawn.
that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's sad.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
I love
but
Keyshawn too.
yeah, I like Keyshawn. What do you think about Skip Bayless? I think he made some offensive. Sometimes he makes some offensive comments, especially at that time with Sharp.
Mhm.
But he's
Yeah,
okay as
yeah.
well.
Uh, Here's what I think. Skip Bayless was made for television.
Mm.
And he would do anything for views and for the spotlight. I believe the whole Damar Hamlin situation.
Oh yeah.
Even though how messed up that was, he got the spotlight on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
that's yeah.
yeah, and everyone tuned in for that show to see if he was going to apologize. So he's very strategic in his approach to things, especially controversial topics.
I think we need a guy like that. I guess maybe not. I don't know.
Yes
Um,
and no.
yeah,
Yes and no.
yeah, a little mixture of both. My last question here is, Usher is doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Who do you want for the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh man, I'll always say this. If he was still alive, I would say Michael Jackson.
Oh,
I think that a present day performance would be
that'd be legendary.
great. It would be. Um, I've always said that.
Yeah, if he came back, um, uh, I do agree with that. I didn't want to say Michael Jackson, but I was thinking of my
Like a current.
girl. Yeah, like a current. I was thinking of like Dua Lipa.
Oh, like
Yeah, if you want to go current, you have one in mind.
current. Oh, that's hard because the one person who I did want to see perform, he did a couple of years ago, Bruno Mars. So I can't
Oh,
say him.
okay.
Um,
He performed like multiple times, like two or three.
yeah, I think he was like a guest or like like a
For
side.
Yeah, for Coldplay, I believe. Coldplay, and then I think he did one in MetLife as well.
Oh man, this is hard.
There's
Who
a lot of
would I
artists out
want
there.
to see?
For me, I had to go with my girl. I've been rooting, not rooting for her, but I've been like with her since day one, and that's Dua Lipa. I think she has a lot of party songs for like a Super Bowl, and I think that will work.
I think Levitate would be uh her best song to perform.
Oh, imagine she's performing levitating, and then she's levitating from the field. That'd be sick.
Oh, that's hilarious. I think I mean, I'm not a f- I think he's overrated and that's
Okay.
Drake, but I would
Oh,
love to see what he would like the setup of his Super Bowl stage would look like.
I mean, I could see Drake and like someone else, like maybe Lil Wayne, or
No, Drake would have to be with a female.
oh, true, Nicki Minaj. So Drake and Nicki Minaj together.
Is she still relevant?
She's, I mean, she's not relevant now, but she has some banger songs with Drake, I think.
Okay, so probably, maybe, perhaps.
I mean, they brought
Uh,
Missy Elliott that one time, and she was not relevant at that time. Um, but yeah. So okay, Drake,
as
and
long as
okay.
yeah, as long as they don't have Taylor Swift, because they've been kind of
Oh,
milking that whole.
I mean,
They've been milking that whole storyline.
I can see that next year. She would probably perform for
Oh God,
the next
yeah.
Super Bowl. But right now we're gonna see Usher. He's gonna do some Michael Jackson-esque moves. Of course, he's been doing that in
And
his concerts.
probably, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Tyron, man, where can they find you?
Nowhere. No, I'm kidding.
Nowhere.
I mean, I'm on Instagram. Underscore Tyrenol, Tyrenol, and another underscore. Yes, it sounds like Tylenol, but
Yeah.
it's a play on the words. But yeah, you can find me there.
Very nice, very nice. Well, you can find this podcast at Brown Boy Wonders on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, maybe YouTube Music eventually. And yeah, man. Any final words?
Again, thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, man.
Saints, if we can make it to the playoffs, that'd be great.
All right. On three, we'll say who dat. Ready? Three, two, one. Who
Who
dat?
dat?
Bing bang.